What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel and thank you for tuning in to today's video. I want to make a quick video going over some updates to the Loneskull gear coffin pouches. I made a video on some pre-production prototypes in the past. I'll leave a link down below so you guys can check that out if you so please. But with all that being said, we're going to jump in and talk about some of the changes that Loneskull made on his coffin pouches. All right, so I lied a little bit before we get into these. I want to give you a full disclosure as always. What is my relationship with Loneskull gear? Do I have one? Yes, I do. I talk to him every now and again, just kind of give him updates on the pouches and find things that work and things that don't work and see if he can do anything about it. I did pay for the 3 pouches you see here in full for the purpose of this video. We did come to an agreement that I would make a video. I did not promise that I would say good things. I did not promise that I was going to say bad things. I want to be as unbiased as possible. In addition to these 3 pouches here, I did also pay for the pre-production prototypes. So just want to get everybody on the same page. That is my relationship with him. And with all that being said, we're going to jump in and tell you the changes on the coffin pouches. All right, so one of the problems I was having with the pre-productions was re-indexing mags. Feed lips on mags like to get caught on anything they can. Guys running similar style mag pouches know the pain of trying to re-index and getting these feed lips caught on the outside of the pouch. I was having a huge problem with that with the originals. I hit him up and said, hey, this isn't working. He said, don't worry, we already got a fix in the works. So once it was done, that's what you see here is these new pouches. He added a Tegra sled onto the front of the pouch. Now what that does is kind of keep the pouch held open and keeps the elastic from wanting to kind of smush down flat on itself and make it impossible to get your mags back in. For the guys that have ran those Blue Force Gear 10-speed pouches that are elastic and they suck down flat, you know that re-indexing can be a pain with those pouches, especially on the pistol ones being so small. It is very hard to get these back in. Now the Tegra sled just kind of holds everything open so that you can re-index very, very easily. Now, it wasn't perfect off the get-go. One thing I found that really helps improve them even further is taking the front of the Tegra sled and actually bending it out like this, kind of giving you some sort of flare to help guide the magazine down into the pouch. Very similar to something like an S-Tac Kiwi. The Kydex insert on those are flared at the top. Moving past the front Tegra sled, construction on the front of the pouch has stayed relatively the same. All materials have pretty much stayed the same. Nothing really to take note of here. Now, retention on these guys is the same as before. I've had no issues running these without the bungees over the top. He does include those. All right, so we flip these guys over and you guys can see the eyelets that I was talking about before for those bungees to run over to the front. He did change the webbing on the back from a 1-inch nylon webbing to kind of this Cordura material that you find on the front, probably just to make it easier on him for sourcing material so he doesn't have to source nylon in addition to Tegris and the Cordura laminate. So he swapped that over. It's no longer nylon, it's now the Cordura material. He also did change the pull tabs here on the back from just folded over nylon to an actual Tegris piece just to kind of make it a little bit easier to weave these onto your belts and plate carriers. The back Tegris card stayed the same with the laser cut slots to obviously weave this onto a plate carrier belt. Now these are mounted on my Tier Tactical Gunfighter belt. I had no issues weaving these on. It took about 3 minutes to get everything on and set up where I wanted it compared to the S-Tac Kiwis. It took 10 minutes per pouch trying to weave those WTF Hypalon straps through this belt. Now that's pretty much everything on these pouches. We're gonna flip it back over and kind of give you my final thoughts on these. All right, so in closing here, do I think these are the best on the market? That's all relative to you and what you need. I think they work really well for me. One big thing that I really like about these is the fact that the 5.56 mag sits at the same height as the 2 pistol mags. With the S-Tac Kiwi, you guys know that the AR mag sticks up pretty far. I was having an issue with the mag getting caught on the side of my cummerbund and my harness on my ABS, and I didn't really like it. So when I installed these, I made sure everything stayed kind of in line here so that I didn't have that issue anymore. As you know, with the S-Tacs, you can't really do that. The addition of the Tegra sled is really, really good in my opinion. Once you bend this open a little bit, it becomes that much better. Other than that, all the other changes are minor and minimal and don't really affect the overall appearance or usage of the pouch. So in my book, I think these are really, really nice pouches. They are kind of a different take on other things on the market. And with all that being said, guys, that brings us to the end of the video. Thank you so much if you made it to the end. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think on these guys. If you could consider liking and subscribing, really helps the channel out. I don't want to sound like a complete sellout, but that really does help me. So with all that being said, guys, I'll catch you guys in the next one.